Hello, my name is Xander from Terrytown, and welcome to your Mesa Ridge 284 RLS. I'm going to be starting just underneath here. I'm going to pull this up. Pretty much the only other thing that's really under here that you need to know about is going to be your battery, which is going to be right inside of there. Obviously, it's pretty hard to see with no lights on inside there, but to turn that on and off, you're going to have your battery disconnect switch over there, which I will explain in just a minute. Inside here, it's going to be one of your propane tanks. And then moving on into this pass-through storage here, like I mentioned before, you're going to have your battery disconnect. That battery disconnect is pretty self-explanatory. It just disconnects the battery from the inside of the camper. So it's on right now. To turn the battery disconnect off, or to disconnect it, you twist it and then pull out the key. Otherwise, you just line it up, put it in, press it and turn, and you can hear it click into place. Just over here, this is your auto leveling. To turn it on, you click the up and down arrows at the same time. There we go. So right in the middle, you're gonna have your auto level. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You click that, your unit isn't going to auto level itself out until it's completely even. Retract all, that's when you of course hook onto your truck or anything like that. You click retract all and all of your jacks are going to retract. And then hitch height. Hitch height is going to be, you back into your spot and you click auto level when you first get to a campground. It's gonna remember where that was before you hit auto level. So when you hit hitch height, it's gonna go right back to where it was, so you can pull right back in, and then of course hook up your truck nice and easy, and you get out nice and easy. Right here, you're gonna have a 50 to 30 amp adapter. Then you're gonna have a 30. Where's that? There it is. 30 to 110, just in case you need to plug this into your house for some reason. And then right here is going to be your sewer hose, which I do recommend getting a better one. And you're also going to have a 25-foot drinking hose. And then for your little grill over there, you're going to need this LP gas hose, which I'll show you where to plug that in, but this is going to be to feed propane into your grill. And you're going to have this little outside shower hose, which is going to be inside of there. So this is going to be your little sewer system, well, not sewer system, but water system here. Starting up on the top left is going to be for your satellite and cable inputs up there. Right here is going to be for 110, so any power outlets. And then pretty much with all of this, you just have to color coordinate them. So for the pump, it shows you right there, pump slash city fill, you turn this to all the way to the left, and this down, and this one all the way to the right. So it all depends what you want to do. You just color coordinate it. So right now it's winterized, so I'm not going to be messing with anything else to mess around with it. But like I mentioned before, when you get to a campground, that city water connection, red to the left, black to the right, and you're able to then hook in and get, hook up to city water. Otherwise, moving on, you're going to have your gray tank and black tank. So your gray tank is going to be for showers and sinks to empty it, and your black tank is going to be for your toilet to empty it. So when you pull the corresponding handles, it'll come down here and then empty out here. You also have another gray tank pull right there. So you have two gray tanks that you can empty out of this one, along with your black tank. Everything comes out this hose here. Just to the left of that is going to be your low point drains. So that's the two lowest points in your camper. So when you go to empty out your lines to end up winterizing it, or to put it away for the winter, you just go ahead, open those up, and that's going to drain your lines. And then of course, like I mentioned before, here's your little outside shower area. You're gonna have a black tank flush, which is pretty self-explanatory. It flushes out your black tank. Like I mentioned before, your black tank is going to be your toilet water, so a lot of, toilet paper and other things are gonna get stuck on the way out. This is gonna help flush everything out. Freshwater connection, so that's to fill up one of your tanks. So to put water in there, of course, put the tank fill put in your hose here, and then that is then going to eventually push water into the big tank. And then that big tank is basically just a big water reservoir to take water with you if you're going camping out in the middle of nowhere. And then you have this little piece here, which you can put all the hoses down through here. You don't have to worry about having this up all the time. I can pop this up. It's kind of locked in place right now, so I don't want to mess with it. But otherwise, you just stick your hose here, and then when you're not using it, just go ahead and close it. Otherwise, to open it, you just pop it up. There we go. So this is going to be your water heater. So the main thing about your water heater is this little anode rod here. This is going to protect your tank because all the hard water will eat at this rather than your tank. So eventually this will deteriorate over time and it'll look like it's corroding. So you will have to replace this eventually, but it's kind of a personal call. Whenever you think it's about 50%, then you're going to want to replace this. Otherwise, you just put it right in that little hole there. Put it in there and tighten it down as tight as you can get it. I believe it's a 1 1/16 socket to tighten that down. So once that's in and nice and tight, you go to the inside of your camper and turn on the hot side of the faucet. It's going to sit there and sputter for a little bit, but eventually it's going to push all the air out, and then it's going to have a steady flow of water. So once it's in nice and tight and you have a steady flow of water, then you can go ahead and turn this on. To empty it, you just go ahead and pull this little pressure release valve here. It's going to hiss, obviously releasing the pressure. And then when that's done, go ahead and take your socket, pull this back out, and then all of your water is going to drain right out of that little hole right where the anode rod was in. This is just going to be a little storage compartment that you can access from the inside. That's why there's no actual turn handle out here, because you can, like I said, access it from the inside. And then for that fresh tank, to drain that, you just go ahead and pull this little tab here, take it and pull. For these JT Strong Arms, you're going to want to make sure that they're completely loose when lowering and raising up your jacks here, so they can move in and out. And then when it's all the way down, what I recommend doing is then, of course, tightening it down, just to help with sway and stuff like that. It's just an extra stabilizing arm. Here's your 50 amp service. This is going to be for your camp power. Backup camera prep. Be careful because this will kind of fling up on you. So this is going to be for your little main griddle here, and of course your grill will go back here. But then down here is going to be the LP quick connect that I was talking about, just that can connect to your grill and your griddle as well. Just get gas to either one, but always connect it right in there because that's where you're going to get your propane. This is going to be your furnace exhaust. So when your furnace is on, all the extra heat is going to be kicking out of here. So just be careful with this, especially with kids or animals, stuff like that. So this is going to heat up. So like I said before, just try to keep them away from this when it's on. I'm gonna have to use two hands here. Oh, there we go. So here's that grill. Otherwise, there's not really a whole lot else inside of here. And then the last thing on the outside is going to be this propane tank. To switch it to the other side, let's get this out here. Jeez. So I don't know why it wasn't working the first time, but to take this out, you just push this to the left and then you pull it. So this is your little regulator switch here. Whichever way this is pointing is going to be the propane tank you're going to be using. So if it's pointing this way to the left, pointing this way to the right, it's going to have this little clear tab here. It's going to be red when there's no propane going through it, and then it is going to turn clear when there is propane going through it. So just keep an eye on that so you know when your tanks are empty. And then moving inside, up, for these kind of handles, you have to hold up closer to the top to kind of pull out, because usually you twist it and pull. These ones you kind of have to pull out like this. So you just grab, pull, and then it's gonna open. For your stairs, make sure your door is completely open. And you just pull this here and go ahead and pull down. To adjust your legs, you just go ahead, pull the little pins out, and then you can move them up and down or whatever you need to. So it's gonna be kind of hard to hold in hand. There we go. And then moving to the inside, I'm gonna try to get some lights on here. So just gonna be a little closet, storage area, and then down here going to be your breakers and fuses. I do recommend bringing some extra fuses along with you. That's just a personal recommendation, but I do highly recommend it. You can pick those up at like any auto parts store or anything like that. Inside the bathroom, but really just the main things you need to know about your bathroom pretty much going to be about your toilet. So with your toilet, you're going to need RV grade toilet paper and toilet solution. The solution is going to help break down solids and smells, and the toilet paper is also going to help break down easier, just to make sure everything flows nice and easy. It is also going to be a foot flush. You just press your foot down there and it is going to flush. Another thing is going to be for your little fan here to control this. With this little panel here, so you turn it on. You can have the vent open and close, fan off, but when you do turn the fan on, it should open everything on its own. So you can hear it start to open, and then you can see it turn on. Or you can have just the vent open, vent closed. And the last thing I want to talk about for your bathroom is going to be your little shower lock here. Most people will just put it on and call it good. You're going to want to make sure it clicks like that. So you're going to want to keep pushing, and then it'll click. And then that's when you know you're fully actually locked in. Alright, so this is going to be your main little power panel here. So this is your quick menu, or the home menu. So you can control your AC or heat through here, turn on all of your lights, access your tanks, motors, and energy out through this quick menu, or you can go more in detail on this left side here. The lights, so one is going to be your inside lights, which you can turn all of them on, turn them all off. Outside lights, like your awning and stuff like that. Or you can click 3, which is going to turn all of them on at the same time. This is going to be your water pump. And this is going to stand for extend and retract, because you can go through this little quick menu here. So that's going to be awning 1, pair, so you can pair it to your phone. Slide 3, slide 2, slide 1, and then back to your awning. But I'm going to go pretty much over all of these details first. So for your water, you have your water pump. Then you also have 2 elements to your water heater to turn them on. So like I mentioned before, just make sure your anode rod is in and tight. And then, of course, you have a steady flow of water coming out the hot side of your faucet. And you can go ahead and turn those on. Otherwise, for your tanks, it's kind of hard to see on phone, but that's basically just going to tell you how full your tanks are getting, so you know when to empty them. And then here's your leveling. You can do it through the inside as well. And you can also access all of your slides here. So slide out 1, hold extend. Here to start to move. Be careful, because these buttons are pretty finicky, so you even saw that I just moved the pressure just a little bit and it turned off. So just go back and hold it. You can see, slide out 1, open your bedroom, which is not really a whole lot to. Basically, the only thing I need to talk about is for your TV bracket over there. You have your inputs and outlets all up top there. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot there. Slide out 2, hold extend. And last but not least, slide out 3. And your awning, it's hard to show you in here, so I'll show you when you get here. Otherwise, for your climate, you just click the power, and then of course switch between cool, cool auto, fan, and heat, whichever one you want to do. And then you can choose the fan speed with this bottom button here. Otherwise, temperature up and down, and then off. Otherwise, for the lights, like I mentioned before, bedroom, awning, living room, you can turn them all off like this, or you can even dim them by doing this little slider here. Moving down, if you have eventually little tire pressure sensors, you can pair those here. And then you have your battery reading. And then to connect it to your to connect it to your phone, you can control Bluetooth and stuff like that. You just have to get an app, which I believe is the BM Pro app. But other than that, that's pretty much it. And then once again, if you have any questions, just go ahead and bring them in with you or email me back. But I'm gonna try to go over that with you in person just to make sure it all makes sense. That's right here, same things in the bathroom, a couple little accent lights here. And of course, microwave. And for your oven and stove, you have your lights here. So your oven light, and then right here is going to be panel lights. But as you just press in, turn, and then of course it'll ignite. And then for your oven, similar thing, press in, you'll hear it ignite. And then when it does, then you go ahead and adjust your temperature needed. For your fridge, all of your little controls are gonna be down here. To turn these on or to access the temperature, you just hold this right here for 3 seconds. That's why there's a key blinking right there to unlock everything. So to control all this, you hold this down for 3 seconds, it's gonna unlock and you can go ahead and tap through and control your temperature there. Otherwise, everything's gonna be key to like, so that's why you only have 2 keys. And then pretty much for your little seats here, you have little lights, which you can see how they illuminated down there. You're gonna have heat seats and then little massage seats. Other than that, you can stick in little tables right here, and then to pull them out, you just this little tab, they'll kick out, then it'll bring them back in. You just go ahead and slide them back in. Otherwise, over here, you are going to have your little sound bar here. Tap to turn on. Zone 1 and Zone 2 are going to be your speaker zones. So Zone 1 is going to be inside, Zone 2 is going to be outside. But then going from left to right, you have your HDMI input, USB input, skip or change radio channels, pause play. You can select modes. So if you want to work with your equalizer or anything like that, you're able to do that. Your power, you can select the mode, so if you want to go between Bluetooth and radio, all the goodies, you can do that. And of course, volume down, volume up, and mute. As you just tap, it says goodbye, and you're all set. So for your little space heater here, it's going from left to right, you're gonna have your time, 9 hours you can bring it up to, low, high fan speeds, and then you have lights and lights. Otherwise, I think that's kind of it. If you do have any questions, please feel free to write them down and bring them in. Otherwise, I'll once again kind of go over everything. If you do have any questions in person, just make sure it all makes sense for you. Other than that, that has been your orientation, and I hope you enjoy.